the SEC is ready for Texas, and they'll be there in just a couple of months. But is Texas, and specifically are Texas fans, ready for the SEC? Now, obviously, the team is ready to be in the conference. They beat Alabama this year by double figures on their own field. They are an upper-tier team in the Big 12. The investment is there. The NIL resources are there. The facilities are there. The talent is there from a recruiting perspective and roster perspective. And it certainly seems like Sarkisian is building something very special at Texas. However, if I have one complaint about Texas, and one thing that I think doesn't fit well in the SEC, it's that Texas gives off the perception of being soft. Now, Texas fans, don't tune me out. I'm not saying you all fit this mold, but you guys who don't fit that mold have to get a hold of the ones who do and get them to chill out just a little bit. What am I talking about? Well, for some reason, Texas and its fans at times seem to get absolutely incredulous when people do the horns down hand signal. Take, for example, their basketball coach recently yelling at opposing kids in the handshake line after their loss to UCF. Check that out. He went on to continue in his press conference after the game.
I'm a big believer in, you win the right way, you lose the right way. And, I always tell my guys, whether you win or lose, you win the right way. You lose the right way, you carry yourself the right way. You don't go through the handshake line or prior to getting to the handshake line and have about 6 or 7 guys putting the horns down. We don't do that, because when you do those kind of things, it looks very classless, and it also looks like you were just hoping to win. We never go into games trying to hope to win. We go into games expecting to win. So we don't act like that. We expect to win. We don't jump up and down act like we won a national championship. We sure don't step on anyone's home court deal and act crazy and try to show them up in any way. We don't do that. So that's what I was angry about, and I was letting those guys know you don't do that. You guys won. Hey, we shake your hand, tip our hat to you, but we're not going to let you act that way in our building. You're not going to do that. You're not going to put your horns down and do all that nonsense.
Now, I get it. I understand being frustrated with a loss. I understand the idea of carrying yourself with class as well. But needing to go on rants or yell at kids on an opposing team after a game is ridiculous to me. It's not that serious. They were a big favorite. They were at home. Obviously, he's upset. He's emotional. I get it. But those of you who are parents know this, and those of you who have coached in sports, you coach your players, and you parent your kids. You don't necessarily run out and try and parent someone else's kids or coach someone else's kids. But if you think that the horns down hand signal or gesture or logo is that big of a deal, Texas, just wait. SEC fans are absolutely going to eat you guys alive. I've been to LSU games where they literally have dead elephants, like dead pictures of elephants and dead baby gators that they're holding up in the games. I've seen Gator fans hold up Seminole heads after beating FSU. I've seen them with dead kittens when they take on Louisiana State. Alabama shouts F Auburn. 100,000 people shout that during Dixieland Delight. Teams do the gator chomp and then the throw slash. The more you let people know that this bothers you, Texas and Texas fans, the more your opponents in the SEC are going to do it. SEC fans are ruthless. And it won't just be those big teams that I mentioned, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida. No, it will be everyone. Ole Miss, A&M, all of them, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt fans will do horns down if they can kick a field goal against you. Now, the penalty that this is in the Big 12 certainly will not be in the SEC. And if the SEC makes it a penalty, they are so much softer than I ever thought they could be. I would be shocked if the Southeastern Conference does this because it is just smack talk. It is just rivalry language. As someone who is pretty familiar with the Miami Hurricanes, their football team has the U thrown down all the time, regularly. For the last 2 decades even. I've seen Rutgers do it. I've seen Middle Tennessee State do it. I've seen Georgia Tech, Boston College, Duke. I've seen so many teams do it. Oh, and of course, their rivals, Florida State, Florida. But I've never seen their fans or players or coaches or anyone get that upset at this. Maybe they should, but not to this point that Texas takes it to. And Texas fans, help me out here. I love the tradition at UT. I love that you guys are going to the SEC. I think you're going to be a top team there. And I love what Sark is building. But the horns down complaining seems so soft to me. And maybe it's less of the fans and it's the administration. Maybe it's the coaches. Maybe it's the actual university. But can you guys get a hold of the decision makers there and tell them to relax on this? It is college football. It is trash talk. It shouldn't be a penalty any more than someone throwing down the U against Miami should be. I've seen Gators chomp walking off the Seminoles field after they've won that game or been up at halftime. And I'm telling you, SEC fans are going to be relentless with this. They will not let you guys hear the end of it. And I expect SEC players to do the same. A quick hint, a moral of the story, if you will, is that if you let someone know that something bothers you more and more and more, the more they'll do it. But the less you let them know that it bothers you, the less they'll do it. Stop being emotional about this. It's just not worth it. And again, the SEC will eat you alive with this, and horns down will be the official hand gesture of the rest of the SEC. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Texas fans, I want to hear from you. SEC fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think it's soft? Do you think your own fans should lighten up? SEC fans, are you already getting ready to be doing the horns down gesture when Texas comes to your stadium or when you go to theirs? Let's talk about it down in the comments. I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's that big of a deal, but I'd love to hear your take on it. New channel. I'll be nicer to you next time we do a video, Texas fans, but I had to get that off my chest, and I want to know your thoughts on it sincerely because it just doesn't seem like such a big deal to me. Thank you guys for tuning in to College Football Addiction.